and that problem is buying books and not reading them. And I don't want that to be a problem anymore. So I'm getting my life together and I am fixing this. And this is how I'm doing it. In this video, I'm going to take you through a process I've been doing for the last 2-3 weeks, I think, to make sure that I'm actually getting through more of the books I read and bringing less into my house. This is happening in 2 main phases. Now, phase 1 is the sorting and categorizing. I need to know how many books and how bad this problem is before I can start to solve it. Phase 2 is the reading and the challenge that comes with that. I've designed this video to be a body doubling video. Body doubling is a technique that I find personally really helpful, and I've been watching body doubling videos. I'd like to have a go at making a few myself, so this is one of them. Body doubling is a technique of having a person do a task alongside you doing your tasks. It doesn't have to be with you, and it doesn't have to be the same task, as a form of accountability and motivation to help you get through that. So if you have some work you need to get done, housework, you're answering some emails, or you've just got some really annoying things that you need to get through, pop this video on in the background and carry on with your task while I am carrying on with mine. That way we can hold each other accountable and we are each other's body double. So either get comfy, get cozy, or get working, and I'm here with you along for the ride. So the problem is this: I have a lot of books and I keep buying them, I keep bringing them into my house. This isn't even a fraction. That's not a fraction. There's so many. Here's some clips of everywhere in my house that I have books. And part 1 of this was finding out how many I actually have. So I took to Notion and I made a spreadsheet. This was a real love-hate process because I love having the data. I hate the process of getting the data. So I went to everywhere in my house that there is books and categorized and input them in this table. I made categories. So who owns the book? Is it me or my husband, or is it joint? Mostly because me and my husband, we share all of our books. So I needed to know which ones are more mine, which ones are more his. Do we have doubles? Do we have triples? So the big data point was, what have I read and what have I not? I was getting all of this down in a table. I was going through all of the books in my living room, all of the ones in my bedroom, my husband's office. And then I remembered something. I remembered a crucial detail. I had 2 boxes of books in the loft. I couldn't feel good about myself without putting those books into the spreadsheet. So I went into the loft and got all of those. This is everything that was in the 2 boxes in the loft, and then some. And after I started looking at them, I realised they couldn't live up there. Nope, they couldn't do it, so they had to come down. But I thought I'd give you a look of what I had in there. So I put those boxes in the loft initially because these were like my favourite books or collectible books, and we just didn't have space for them on the shelves, which I realised was not fixing the problem like I thought it was at the time, but here we are. I feel like you can tell a lot by someone's bookshelf and what they choose to or not to put on it, so I'm gonna show you some of the books that I've got here. Why I loved them so much, which I thought was pretty cool. I've got The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and I know I have here his second one and the little novel. and I want those together. But aha, there it is. The Wise Man's Fear. There was like a little one as well. Where did you go? Where did you go? And they are one of mine and my husband's favourite book series. Absolutely loved it. I am eagerly awaiting the last one. It will happen one day and I wait semi-patiently. Maybe I should start by putting these in like piles. That makes sense, I guess. This one falls into my pretty copies. This is my pretty copy of Dracula. I also think I own the normal Penguin version as the one that I actually read, but I think I'll get rid of that and just keep my pretty one. I love that one. That one was a gift. What else is in my pretty copies? Ah, there it is. That's the last one. The Name of the Wind, The Wise Man's Fear, and The Slow Regard of Silent Things. They're now all together and I can find a space for them. But that was one of my favourite book series of all time. Got all of the Harry Potters because I got them like when I was a kid as they came out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Is there 6? Is there another one I'm missing? There very may well be. I'll come across it. I've seen a few books that I think I'm going to get rid of straight away. I got the Start With Your Sock Drawer. It's a tidying up, like clearing out book by Vicky Silverthorne, and The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, because I did use these to get rid of a lot of stuff. She says among the pile of books that would make them both scream. So those can go because I have my own philosophy now and I don't need those. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I loved this book when I read it, but if I'm honest, I don't think I'm going to read it ever again. Like, I enjoyed the book. I still remember the story, but I don't think I'm going to read it again. So that one can go. Ah, there's the last Harry Potter book. I can see you. I can see you. Come here. That one is... No, it's chunky. I forgot how chunky the Order of the Phoenix was. My Harry Potter's all there. I had the Tolkien Dictionary up there, and I'm going to put it with the other Tolkien Dictionary kind of series by David Day that I've got. Because 1, these are pretty, 2, they are genuinely helpful if you like the Tolkien universe. We got another 2 pretty copies here. My Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and I also think I have the Penguin copy, again, which is the one that I actually read. So I can get rid of the Penguin copy to keep that. And then A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Again, have the Penguin copy, can get rid of that because I have these, and I'll keep them out now. I love them. I also have multiple copies of The Hobbit, but they're all from different years with the different covers, and I think I'm going to keep that as a collectory thing. So I've got Unfinished Tales here. I'm going to make a little Tolkien pile. The 21st Impression from Night. So this one's from 1969, and I love that cover. And then this one, 1988, the latest number I can see in it. So I think that's a 1988 one. But just, I love the 80s and like that particular style of fantasy cover because I've got book 1 of the Game of Thrones series because I did have all like a series of all the new covers and I just didn't reach for them. I prefer this kind of cover, so I'm going to try and go through and find as many of these, of the old ones as I can. Because the old fantasy covers just have a little space in my heart that I love. There's my copy of the Silmarillion. Put that in the Tolkien pile. I've got Courage to Be Disliked. Genuinely loved this book. One of my absolute favourites. I've got the sequel, The Courage to Be Happy, downstairs, which is on my list to read. Florence Welch's book. I'll put that with Aurora's one, but I genuinely loved this. It's like an art book more than anything. These are a few of like my ones from childhood that I just loved. The illustrated classics of some fairy tales. This I've had longer than I have memory. Just a little cute copy of The Night Before Christmas. It's just very cute. That's more like a memory sort of thing. Another copy of The Hobbit goes in the Tolkien pile. And I realised that I put George R.R. Martin in the Tolkien pile, but that's where it lives. Gulliver's Travels. One of my childhood ones. Hans Christian childhood book. Arabian Night. I bought this one as a little bit older, but I just loved it. So it's another fairy tales book by Burley Dorothy, and it's the illustrations. It used to have a dust cover. I don't know what that is, but the illustrations by Jane Ray are the reason I bought this book. Just look at it. And I found this in a charity shop for like £2, but it's got some of the prettiest illustrations I think I've ever seen. Look at this one for Snow White. This is Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. Like, this is the copy that I first had of it, and I do love that one. I've got Thomas Hardy's Tess of D'Urbervilles and Anne Bronte's The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. These used to be some of my favourite books that I studied in school, particularly The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I really loved that one. And Tess of D'Urbervilles is so tragic, but I would read that one again, so they're going to stay. Oh, I've got another childhood book there. The Water Babies! Oh, why did I ever put them away? Because I have no space for them. But here we are. Handmaid's Tale. Absolutely read that one in school. Genuinely loved it. I got rid of most of the books that I read in school. The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out a Window and Disappeared. Such a funny book. Would read again. These. Am I going to keep these? So these are little, like, me and Yev do a lot of English heritage sites. And I get some of the books from my favourite ones, but I don't know if there's just any point in me keeping them. I've got some books of poetry that I think I'm going to keep for now, and then if I don't read them again, I might get rid of. I got She Must Be Mad by Charlie Cox, Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, Validate Me by Charlie Cox. I think I liked this one more. I'll keep them. If I don't reach for them, they might go. Oh, graphic novels. Yes. My Firefly graphic novels. Firefly was the best TV show that has ever existed, and it was cancelled too soon. These are all I have left to remember them by. I need to get the rest of them. These are staying, absolutely. God, I need to make more piles. I've got a Tolkien illustrated encyclopedia. I don't know if this is going to stay. I don't know. I'm going to see. I'll keep it for a little bit, and again, if I don't reach for it, it can go. Watchmen is a classic. I think I'm going to get rid of the bonsai. I tried with a bonsai. I really did. I killed it. I don't think I'm meant to have bonsai. Oh, these are cute. So now we're in pretty much like my old books that I just really liked. This is 1945, I think. And I got this when I just got into journalism at University of Kent. And I bought this for myself. But this is British journalists and newspapers, just like little bits about the history of the printing press and stuff. A very lovely old copy, so I'll keep that because I got that also as like a present for myself for doing something that was really difficult for me. Poems and Songs by Edwin Waugh. Yeah, we already know that one's staying because I read it upstairs. Found that in the loft. I've got an old copy of Euripides, and I think I bought this one because it's, do I remember rightly? Yeah, so it's got the Greek next to the English, and I loved that. I thought it was beautiful. This is an old book. I don't know how old. I don't know when this one's from. It's 19 something. I know it's after 1912 because there's a letter from 1912 printed in the front, but I don't know past. This one's adorable. I've got The Story of My Heart by Richard Jefferies. It's an autobiography, and I bought it because of the art and like the little bits of paintings that were in there, rather than, I don't know who Richard Jefferies is, and it needs some repairs inside. I got this from a charity shop ages ago. 1912 new edition. Yes, it says it's the new edition from 1912. But this is lovely, and I need to figure out how to do repairs or find someone that can do repairs, because that does need a few repairs. What's this book? George R. Martin, A World of Ice and Fire. This is like a coffee table book, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it with a load of like artwork and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to keep this, if I'm honest. This one's probably going to go with the rest. Not feeling that one. I think even when I had it, I didn't really reach for it. What's this one? World Atlas of Tea. Oh, I loved this book. I put it in the loft because I loved this book. But it is literally like different teas and where they're from in the world. Like, so it separates it by region, so Middle East, China. And it tells you about like growing, annual consumption, which is really cool. I really like this book. And we've got, I think this is Walt Disney's Children's Treasuries and Classics. This was gifted to me when I was a baby from my great grandmother, and it's the children's classic Disney ones with a load of artwork. So I treasure that. That's staying. Edgar Allan Poe's anthology, because I love him. He's like the ultimate emo poetry boy, and I love him so much. The Raven is my favourite poem of all time in existence I have yet to find a poem that I love more than that. I just love the beat, the rhyme. Oof. This is one of Yev's, The World of Adventure, illustrated. I don't know much about this book if I'm honest, but it's adorable. This book's from 1889, I think. Again, this needs repairs. Like a lot of these books need repairs. And I don't know how to repair the old books. And should probably find someone that does. This is a 1936 little copy of Pinocchio. These I grew up with and they are broken as hell. This one's missing a spine. I have had these since I was a child. I've read them a lot. I've got the volume 1 one which is missing again its spine. But I love these fairy tale books, so they are going to stay. I hope I find that spine one day. I don't remember actually having the spine when it went in the loft. This one's really cool, but the entire cover has just come off of it. It's not actually attached anymore. And this is The Walker's Guide to the English Lake District. And what I love about these books when they were this old is they've still got, it was when there was ads on the back rather than like any kind of blurb, but I love this. So, after travel, there is nothing more refreshing than a bath. Writes coal tar soap. Soothes, protects, heals. And it's just like all the old Walker's roots, and it's a cute little thing. I don't know when it's from, but again, yeah, the cover's not actually attached to this and hasn't been for a very long time. I think this is from 1919. Yes, it is. It says series 1919 to 1920. Oh, this one's cute. This one's cute. Wait, is this one? Yes, so this one again. It's fine. This one is Le Mort d'Arthur, so the death of Arthur. I love the stories of King Arthur. This is so fun. This is one of my favourites. Fortune telling by cards. It's old. It's a mess. It's got ads on the back. I just love stuff like that. I think, has this one still got the price in the front? 1 shilling. And it's got how you can order all the other ones. This one's a 5th edition, 5th impression. But again, this is a very old book, and I got it in, I think I got it off a stall for like £1, but it's got pages that are falling out, and I don't know how to repair anything like this. I don't know if you can, but I need to do some research on how to do that. So then this, what's cool is it gives you the breakdown of the different suits and the numbers and like what it means, and it's all in rhyme. Look, the Ace of Hearts. He that draws the Ace of Hearts shall surely be a man of parts, and she that draws it, I profess, will have the gift of idleness. 7 of Spades. Now as the 7 comes to hand, it does entitle you to land, but maids with this shall wed with those that have no money, friends, or clothes. There, warning for you. I just love this book. This is going to go on my... So this bookshelf has got all of my like altar-y kind of books, and I think this is going to go... And magic books. And I think this just needs to go here with it. So I think that's very cute. Okay, I think I'm through these books now. I gotta find somewhere to put them. I did find another thing that was really cute. So this is an old bookmark that I made when... I don't remember how old I was. I had to have been... I think I was in year 4 by the back of it. And we had like an Egypt day, and I used to be obsessed with ancient Egypt. And I had the book that everyone had. Do you remember it? Where it's like, it was gold and it was massive and it was about Egyptology. It had this bright red gem in the middle, and I remember it really vividly. I don't remember ever getting rid of it, but I loved that book, and I've never seen it since. But we had like an Egypt day, and someone came in and showed us how, and brought papyrus and showed us how to do a little cartouche with our name in it. And the only thing I remember was that the squiggle was N. That was it. That's all I remember. I gotta figure out where all this goes. I'm gonna go do that. And that was a process. So I've gone through, put all of these in the spreadsheet, and I have an automation telling me how many books I actually have and the percentage of them that are read. So take a minute now and have a think. Given all the clips I've shown you of books that I have in my house, how many books do you think I have? Put your guess in the comments below. You know what? I'll give you a couple seconds. Here's a video of my dog. Use that time to have a think. Put your number in the thing below. Did you guess? This is how many books I have. Oh. Hello? Hey. Did we miss some books? Yeah. How many? How bad is it? I don't know if it's worse than we thought. The percentage is definitely worse than we thought. So we ended on, or I gave up on 456 books, and we've read 34.656% of them. I didn't include any TTRPG game books, so none of our D&D how-to guides, none of the Warhammer codices, nothing like that, because or sheet music books, because I needed to end this for both of our sakes, really. So that's worse than I thought. I'm gonna go lie down. I'm gonna go lie down. This was a long process. I was thinking that I wasn't gonna breach the 300 mark with this, but yeah, I needed all this data to figure out how much of a problem it had, and the thing that was hurting me was seeing how few of the books that I own that I read, because through the process of categorizing and making notes of all these books, I fully remembered all the books I have and how much I love them, how much I want to read them, and why I bought every single book. I enjoyed going through them all though, it was fun, and I also made a huge pile of them that I'm just getting rid of. It is a long process, but here is the Notion in its final finished glory. Okay, so I am going to give you a quick tour of the Notion so you can kind of see how I'm organising my books and my reading, because I also want to make more of my reading and I want to have more notes. There's certain books I'm reading that I keep wanting to take notes from and want them easily accessible, and I'm using Notion for that. And I love Notion, I use it a lot. When you log into my Notion at the beginning, I've got it separated into brains. So I have study brain, work brain, and reading brain. And it is the reading brain that we are going to go through today, because I need to separate these things a little bit in my head so that I have a clear enough divide and can work through them. So I'm going to give you a tour through my reading brain. Okay, so when we come into my reading brain, this is something that I'm still building out. So in my gallery here are books that I am currently taking notes on. So my more either herbalism textbook kind of books, books on nature and the climate, books on anarchy, stress. You'll get an idea by looking at this, the kind of books I like to make notes on. I've got them in categories, and these are the ones that I'm going to spend a little more time on, and then when you open up these, it's got all of my notes on it so far, and you can flick through them here. This is not obviously the big spreadsheet I've been talking about, but this is where I'm making notes on books that I'm going to have a little bit more time with. So the spreadsheet I've made is its own page, and this is just all books. And it's going to take a second to load, but this is the spreadsheet, and I've left room for this to kind of evolve as I go. But I've got title, author, who owns the book, whether it's me, Yev, or if it's a general reference book that we both use. This is more of it lets us know kind of where it is in the house, because we put our books in slightly different places. And it also has helped us find where we had doubles and we could give away some, because we would have the same book. So we just kept whatever was prettier, quite frankly. So we've got who owns it, and that's more for our benefit. We've got the status, whether it's been read, not started, in progress, I've also got under completed Yev as his own kind of section. So the idea is these are books that are owned by Yev, Yev has read, and I have no intention of reading, or I don't really care to read. I've got it green if it's a reference book as well. Things like some of my herbal textbooks, my cooking books, craft books, where I use bits of them pretty regularly and pretty constantly, but I've not read it cover to cover, and it's not the type of book you would read cover to cover. So that's under reference book, and then done for books that are done. I've got them tagged, and this is just for my reference. It's not an expansive tag list, it's just, if I can click on one, the main books we have. I could have got so much kind of more in depth with this and gone like history and crime and things like that, and I found that just didn't help me. So largely fiction and non-fiction, but we have a lot of philosophy, very limited biography, and quite a lot of classics. My spiritual and herbalism books, I also wanted to separate into different categories, just for me, just helps me do it, and that also helps when I'm making notes on books for videos. So that's why it is as it is. Month completed that's basically from this going forward. So that way I can continue to make content about the books and what ones I've read what month. Anything before that I'm just putting NA. And that means I read it long before this experiment started. And I've got a lot of books like that. I've only just added this a couple days ago, and then a few notes if I want to make a note for the book that isn't as in-depth as the other thing that I'm making. And this is constantly evolving. And then at the bottom, we've got the count. It's happening. It's right there. Look at it. And then the percentage of completed. So that's the main thing for this. Why I wanted the status, to see how many have actually been completed. I love Notion for these little calculate things at the bottom. I find them really helpful, really useful. And what I really love about Notion is the search function. It makes it so much easier when you have 400 items on a checklist. Being able to search it up just really helps. So I can search up by tag, if I could spell. So I could search by tag, everything in the herbalism tag. So also why that's there. It's something that I'm more likely to search up. Poetry, I have very little poetry. I don't read a lot of it. Well, I don't have a lot of books on it. I like reading little individual poems that I tend to find online, but I don't have that many books. I can go by the name, by the author. I have like 3 of the Patrick Rothfuss books, so on and so forth. I love the search function. It's been so helpful. And just having this all here in a way that's fully customizable to me has been so useful. It's nice to have all the books in one place, and it really did help. And when there are books that I want to read and there are books that I want to buy, I am putting them slowly all in a book wish list. And again, I started this like this morning, so I've made nonsense because I haven't put much in my wish list at the moment. I tend to go to bookshops and take pictures of the books that I want, and I need to go through, take all the names and add them to the book wish list. And that's an easy thing for me to give people when they ask kind of, what do I want for Christmas? I want these books. But what I really love about this whole experience is it did make me fall in love with the books that I already had again, and it did feel like shopping for my own books. And it's been stressful. It's not been easy, but it has been a really good experience, and I'm glad I did it overall. So yeah, that's the Notion. So part 2 is solving the problem. The answer to solving this problem is both incredibly easy and horribly difficult. I need to not buy any more books. 2 reasons. 1, I'm trying to save money, and 2, there's just so many of them that I haven't read. So the goal out of this isn't really to own less books, it's just to own more books that I've actually read. So going into this, I am putting every month on YouTube Shorts and across Instagram, all of the books that I've read that month. Patreon will be getting a monthly update and full book review list of everything I've read and what I thought about it. I did think about adding another category where I like totted up the price for every book, but then I thought, no, that's just one too far. Like one too far. I also have like 4 copies of The Hobbit. They are collectible things, but it's part of the problem. See, yeah, I'm not buying any more books. I'm getting my life together and I'm starting with the books. And it's made me so much more excited to read the books that I already own. It felt like going shopping for books that I already had, and it was a really lovely experience and a great process. So if you've made it all the way to the end of this, thank you so much, and let me know if you were using this as a body doubling video and what task you got done if so. Please like, comment and share this with other friends that you might want to subtly tell they have a problem with books. It's okay. We're in it together, it's fine. And let me know what are your favourite books. I'd love to hear a list of recommendations so I can continue to torture myself over the coming months. Thank you so much for being here. As always, have a lovely rest of your day, whatever time you're watching this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys. Share all of each other. I swear I got you out of the loft. Don't make me go back in the loft. Where's the rest of you? What's the word? That's the Euripides one. Euripides, Eumenides. I can't figure it out. I had it just a second ago. I'm technologically inept. Acting. I have a feeling, a very, very strong, overwhelming feeling, that I have forgotten a bunch of stuff because I didn't actually write a script for this video, which I normally do. I normally write scripts and like just some form of guidance. And this one I didn't. I just sat down and started chatting because I have a meeting in like half an hour and I need to go jump on that like right now and get started. Okay, bye guys.